Oh man! I'm impressed. So it goes to show the reason that the edit made Tony seem like he was like a bamboozle doing all kinds of odd things that were a little uncharacteristic for him was because that's exactly what he was doing. And now he's really shifting into the driver's seat. This is just crazy. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's going to do next, especially once we see the fallout of what happened, because he totally did not go along with his original plan this episode. But we'll get to that later. So everyone joins Jeremy back at camp, and Tony lambusts him for quitting on Tribal, despite the fact that he was in the other alliance. And I wouldn't be too surprised if Kim or Denise did the same thing. We just didn't see that. Um, uh, and then I don't remember if this is exactly the right chronological bit of events, but then Tony begins to get a little unsure about his alliance, or he is sure about the alliance, but he wants to have a bit of a deal with almost everyone, so he starts talking to Jeremy's group and trying to barter a deal with them. But then, at the same time, Kim reads Tony and correctly, at the moment, realizes that, yeah, Tony actually isn't with Jeremy. He's just trying to placate Jeremy, make him feel a little more at ease, and then they go right back to getting their original target. So she and Denise start making moves to get in with Sophie and Sarah's group, or at least Kim does. Denise, she didn't actually get. I don't know if she really got any confessionals this episode, because it all seemed to be Kim's confessionals of Kim talking to Denise. But it's nice to see Kim take a step further, in trying to make her situation better. So, while I can't really see her winning this season, I could definitely see her continuing to get far in it and maybe factor into something. That's going to be interesting. And when it looked like that Tony was the swing vote between these groups of people, I didn't really see him. Actually, wait, I think he was the swing vote last episode when he was the mitigator? Is that the right term? Mediator? And I don't know, between these two groups. I totally expected him to continue to go on Jeremy, because why would he sacrifice his position in that big group? He was in good relations with everybody. And while he did talk to Kim and then to a lesser extent Denise for a while, they weren't. Never had any real reason to go against him other than Tony being, well, Tony. That's really, it. And Tony made the comment to Jeremy, us big friends, stick together, get rid of the sleepers. So he's in an excellent position, especially since, get this, since I'm pretty sure that Ben got his name written down at the second or third tribal that he went to. I could be wrong on that. If I'm correct, the only person that has never gotten their name written down after this episode is Tony. Who would have figured that? Although I did go back to the Kagayan vote results, and Tony only got his name written down at 2 tribal councils, though it might have been a third one had he not done the idol shenanigans. And you gotta remember, in Kagayan, he never won an immunity challenge, so that makes it even more impressive, though now he's winning the challenges, but we'll see how long that continues. And then we got a new advantage that we've never seen before, which is the extortion advantage, because really what that was is that you have someone from the edge doing something to harm another player in exchange for tokens. And it's creative, but I feel like that kind of goes against everything else that's been happening in the game here, because previously it's been, hey, we'll give you a leg up if you give us X file tokens. This is, we're giving you a punishment if you don't do that. I don't know, just that kind of bucked the trend. Although, given what Tony was able to do in this episode, he eliminated the punishment, and he still seemed to be decently in good standing with some of these people. More on that later, but I don't know. What would have been so bad with reintroducing one of the other advantages, especially since you have yet to put in a steal a vote or cancel someone's vote this season, huh? You could have easily done that, or something. What would have been so bad about that? Or put in another temporary idol, even better. Although, Pav and Natalie's logic as to who to give it to, very good thinking. So, I definitely think that whoever has been going to the edge has been spilling all the beans to everybody, because I guess they figure, especially since Tyson's back, only one of us gets back into the game, and odds are that person's going to get voted out again, especially since they have to get through free votes, presumably. So, honesty is back, although it's different than when I kept mentioning this through, like, Kagayan through Worlds Apart, if I'm remembering when I said those remarks. And I just love how Tony's like, oh yeah, this is awesome, I get to go and get somebody. No, you're the one that's got. And then he just goes, oh, this is robbery! Well, he didn't say that, but yeah, 6 tokens? That's crazy. And I seriously wonder what that huge block is doing with all those tokens, because even though I don't think Natalie, Danny, and Tyson were part of the group when they sent Michelle the coin, I would really not be too surprised if they get roped in, because Pav's working on Natalie in this episode. Danny seemed to have been willing to work with that group while everything on the edge has been happening, especially since Natalie included her in the big group that was looking for the one of the 2 things that's been going on since the merge. And then Tyson, even though he's been on a different tribe than most of these people, why would he not work with these people as a jury member? Why wouldn't he? I just don't see how that doesn't come into play. So I really want to know what's going on with that. Although, now I do recall that someone mentioned ordering peanut butter, which I think would which could happen, because if it's 1 or 2 file tokens for a jar, you can spread that around, although it wouldn't last too long. But yeah, I really want to know what that group's doing with those tokens, because, as I said, I think whoever comes back from the edge is going to get booted immediately, but I really want to know what that group does on the jury, even though, again, there will be more people outside of that group than them. But I don't see any real cohesiveness like that, because Yule's Alliance, even though they, minus Nick, they're all on extinction, they aren't working together. From my perspective. But I was really impressed with how Tony was able to get three other people to give him a token, especially since I'm pretty sure that Nick and Ben gave him their only tokens, though given how Tony won the challenge and Ben was pretty close to winning it, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal because Tony says, I get to pay off my debt and then we can get rid of Jeremy. So he gives the token right back to Nick and Ben, and they're like, alright, a little annoying, but Tony's not in trouble, so my ally isn't in trouble, and I got my token back. Not the perfect situation, but it's close enough. And then the script gets turned on again, and I forget exactly what started it, but I guess Tony got a brainwave and concluded, hey, I bet I can switch things up if I do this correctly. So then he goes to Nick, and Nick just goes along with it. What? I mean, like, granted, okay, Nick has to be smart enough to realize, even if Sarah and Ben and Kim and Denise, since they started working with that group, they might be able to figure out that he flipped, but they'll be able to figure out that Tony also flipped, and who are they going to point the fingers at, him or Tony? Tony! So it's not hugely beneficial for his game, but he's not going to be the target. It's Tony or Jeremy. So he's got two people before him, and that's all you need because you need to have two people. Idols. I forget who said that, but someone said it. Not in this episode, I mean. So I guess that's a factoring in, but I wish I knew what he was thinking. And then Tony has the hardest amount of time convincing Jeremy that he's in trouble. What? You have the hardest time convincing the person who is in trouble that he's in trouble? Just what are the chances of that? Amazing. Although I do think it was smart that Tony was saying, I can't go to Michelle, Jeremy, it has to be you. Very smart, especially given her odd antics with the Tyson vote, but it could be she just figured she was in a bad spot. And then her lie to Tony, I don't think she worded it the best, but at least it's an explanation as to why you don't have tokens, but I could have sworn that the way she was saying this in her confessional, she was indicating that she didn't want to tell Tony that she didn't have any fire tokens. Turns out she just meant that she didn't want to reveal exactly what she spent the tokens on. So again, that could have been phrased a little better, though I'm sure that I would have screwed that up in that situation too. Yeah, because like I would never be able to think of a lie that quickly. So I'll give Michelle props. Which goes to show, I don't dislike Michelle, I just wanted Aubrey to win over her. Yeah. So then we go to Tribal, and I was totally thinking that Jeremy was gone because of his business of constantly trying to get rid of Ben. And I would have been okay with that, especially since it would have made more sense for Tony and Nick, if you ask me, but I guess Tony wanted to stir the pot. And sure enough, they blindsided Sophie, which, if you're going based on the hierarchy of the three other people in that fivesome, so you have Tony, Nick, Ben, Sophie, and Sarah, well, Ben is just a card in the deck. You can use him for whatever schemes you feel like, and Tony is closer to Sarah than with Sophie. I don't think they knew about Sophie's idol. It's possible, but I doubt it, because I could have sworn Tony went, ooh. So I don't think he knew about that, so it makes sense. And I don't... Actually, did they know about Kim or Denise? It's possible, it's possible. we'll have to see in the next episode. And that was quite an explosive reaction from Sophie, but granted, they hadn't seen season 39, and I don't know for sure if they had seen season 38 because Dalton mentions that they either called Nick or they started filming 5 months after David vs. Goliath had finished airing. Well, 5 months, that's not enough time to get through the whole next season because Survivor seasons almost always concluded with when I was finishing a semester at my university. So that would either be like December 14th, just go with it, and then May 11th to 19th, something like that. Just so that's not enough time. But if you take into account those 2 seasons, getting voted out with an idol in your pocket is not anything new anymore. Heck, you could argue that stopped being a thing back in, like, Worlds Apart, maybe? I don't know. But good episode. I really enjoyed it, and I'm really hoping that it continues to be good. But I've noticed something. I think that they've got a few extra days to play with now, because if I'm doing the math right, there's 8 people left in the game, but you got to remember that there was a tribal council before that, so that's 13 tribal councils down. But I think this was day 28. So then you've got 35 Battleback, 36 Boot, 37 Boot, 38 Boot. But if there's 8 people, you have to get rid of 3 people. Oh, wait. No, I did the math right. If it really is day 28, and I'm pretty sure it is, then never mind. They're on perfect schedule. I just wonder which one of the next 2 episodes is going to be the double boot, because they got to get down to 5 people. Right. Let's see what happens next.